We're the official mouthpiece of the Nigerian maritime sector. It's Nimasa this week. Hello and welcome. My name is Iretiola Doyle. The International Maritime Organization, also referred to as the IMO, in collaboration with the Abuja MOU, organized a 5-day workshop for Nimasa with a special focus on the flag state implementation and port state control. Facilitators for this workshop are experienced maritime experts from the International Maritime Organization. Now, this workshop is designed for inspectors on the implementation and enforcement of the relevant instruments for flag and port state inspection. Our waterways correspondent, Amanda Akpan, reports.
The International Maritime Organization IMO, in collaboration with the West and Central Africa Memorandum of Understanding on Port State Control, Abuja MOU, put together a 5-day seminar workshop for the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, on the flag state implementation and port state control. This initiative came as a result of Nigeria's selection as a beneficiary of the National Seminar Workshop and Port State Control under the IMO Integrated Technical Cooperation Program (ITCP). The workshop had in attendance the representative of the Secretary General IMO, the representative of the Director General Nimasa, the Secretary General Abuja MOU, IMO resource persons, the alternate permanent rep of Nigeria to IMO, participating staff of Nimasa, and invited guests. The opening ceremony of the workshop, designed to train inspectors on the implementation and enforcement of relevant instruments in flag and port state inspection, started with a welcome address of the Director General of Nimasa, Mr. Ziakere Patrick Akpobulkaimi, who was ably represented by the Executive Director of Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Bala Agaba. Mr. Akpobulkaimi, in a speech, stressed the need to enhance technical capacity in the Maritime Safety Administration in the country, which the agency had in recent past engaged a significant number of exclusive surveyors to enhance capacity to perform flag and port state responsibilities in the most efficient and effective manner. With the comprehensive training the surveyors will receive from the IMO facilitators, Mr. Akpobulkaimi is certain that the agency will receive the IMO recommended minimum of 15% of inspections of foreign ships that call on Nigerian ports.
We are also glad to inform you that the administration has been able to gradually increase its port state control performance in the last 12 months due to increase in our manpower capacity and the availability of platforms to enable us carry out regular vessel inspection. In 2013, our performance increased to about 7% due mainly to our increased manpower capacity. This year, 2014, we are hoping to achieve the IMO recommended minimum of 15%.
He, however, implored the participants of the workshop to take the program seriously and remain focused, as the benefits of the program to Nigeria are enormous.
The benefits of the program to Nigeria are numerous, and we are confident that our enhanced safety regime, coupled with the full cooperation of core maritime stakeholders, will usher in a new era of enhanced safety in our coastal waters and, of course, economic development in the maritime sector.
The representative of the Secretary General of IMO, Captain Eric Dallas Lai, educated the participants on the activities of IMO and emphasized on the need to standardize regulations guiding the operations of foreign ships visiting our ports.
Inspections by port states are therefore at the very center of the means to assess compliance by foreign flag ships with the requirements contained in applicable international instruments for maritime safety, security, and marine pollution, to which they are parties themselves.
The keynote address was delivered by the Secretary General of the Abuja MOU, Mrs. Mfon Usoro, who reiterated the fact that the Abuja MOU played a major role in the selection of Nigeria as a beneficiary of the Integrated Technical Cooperation Program by IMO. In her speech, she spoke on the concept of flag, port, and coastal state inspections, which sometimes converge and consequently present difficulties in determining the safety and marine environment protection obligations attached to each of them.
The need to keep the marine environments and ships safe and secure for global commerce imposes immense responsibilities on the flag, on the coastal and the port states. While the duties of the three, that is flag, port and coastal states, may appear similar, their functions are nevertheless distinct with different specific obligations under relevant IMO instruments. Nigeria finds itself in a privileged class, being a coastal state by virtue of geography, also a flag state and a port state, and performs this tripartite role through Nimasa.
The resource persons from the IMO then commenced the first period of the technical sessions. At the end of the event, Mr. Zosoro and Captain Bala Agaba spoke to us on the benefits of the workshop by IMO to Nigeria.
It's a welcome development. As you are aware, we have new surveyors, both flag and port, and then the process for training them is what is going on here. So it's like capacity development. IMO now telling us what the conventions, the protocols are, and how we are expected to follow it when we go on board to carry out inspections, both port and state.
Specifically, we want the port state control officers in Nigeria to learn about what they are expected to do under the new conventions, such as the MLC 2006, the Maritime Labour Conventions, and under MAPO. All of those have port state control provisions in them, and which are supposed to be carried out by qualified surveyors and port state control officers. So ours is to just encourage Nimasa to follow international best practice as they have been doing, but to do more.
Nimasa, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. For Obonga shipping registration, no. Nimasa, commercial shipping, no. Nimasa, maritime labor.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, the nation's maritime watchdog, established to promote maritime safety, security, commercial shipping, and regulate maritime pollution. Nimasa is well positioned and committed to take the development and standardization of Nigeria's maritime industry to greater heights. Are you interested in the local or international commercial shipping business or in seafaring and do not know what to do or how to go about it? Nimasa will guide and see you through. Sea pirates, oil thieves, and all forms of dubious and illegal business on Nigeria's maritime domain have no hiding place, because Nimasa's eagle eyes will locate or catch up with you. For Nimasa, it is zero tolerance to sea pollution, as all abandoned ships and wrecks on Nigeria's waterways which pose danger to sea transportation will be cleared. Nimasa, promoting safe and secure maritime environment.
Nimasa has taken its safety awareness campaign to Calabar Cross River State. At an event which held in Calabar recently, the DG CEO of Nimasa, Mr. Zakede Patrick Akpoblokemi, who was represented by the Chief Labour Officer, Calabar Port, Mr. Atifon, said that this initiative was proof positive of Nimasa's zero tolerance of accidents on our territorial waters. Our correspondent, Rachel Ubani, reports.
The increasing number of boat accidents, which has claimed many lives and properties on the nation's territorial waterways, has necessitated the need for increased safety enlightenment in all jetties in the country. In view of this, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, conducted its safety awareness sensitization campaign in Calabar. At the event, the DG Nimasa, Mr. Patrick Akpoblokemi, represented by the Chief Maritime Labour Officer, Calabar Port Office, Mr. Antifon, charged boat operators to adhere strictly to safety standards in all their operations in order to avoid accidents on the waterways.
We must therefore tell our brothers that operate this boat that they must operate the boat within safety. We talked about the life-saving equipment, like life jackets, like the lifeboats, etc. And it's very important for the boat operators to always advise their passengers or the boat users on the need for these materials to be used.
A display of proper usage of the life jacket was demonstrated by the regulators, after which a specimen sample was presented to members of the community.
The zip it. After zipping it, we put the safety clip onto the latch. So this one is called the growing belt. It's just to make sure, you know, this life jacket, if you don't put it into water, due to upward force, it can remove. But this one, they put this one here, so that once you put this one here, you click it, and you draw it to your size. This one will prevent it from going off.
Boat operators appreciated the program and promised to comply with all safety rules.
I'm using this opportunity to thank you people on behalf of my chairman, Boat Owners Association. So I thank you that you are giving us a helping hand.
I will see what you people try to do with us.
On that safety.
We say, God mighty, we brought you people here. We will bring you people back safely in Jesus' name.
It's still Nimasa this week. Don't go away. We'll be back after the break.
Nimasa this week, the authoritative voice in the maritime sector.
The Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, has continued to forge ahead in carrying out its mandate. Their successes recorded in the Nigerian Seafarers Development Program (NSDP) is proof of the agency's commitment to developing human capacity. Over 2,500 Nigerians have benefited. 14 of them graduated with first-class honors, while one of the students emerged the best overall graduating student from the institution this year. At Nimasa, the training and retraining of dock workers is an ongoing exercise. In the last 6 months, 1,497 dock workers have benefited from various training programs. The birth of the Nimasa Satellite Center, which was launched last month, was born out of the need to provide a safety net for all those doing business within Nigerian waters and beyond. This facility can also be used in 5 main areas: to see beyond the territorial waters of Nigeria, identify ship positions in real time, which can greatly enhance search and rescue, plot search and rescue patterns, detect vessels that switch off their automatic identification system, and interrogate the satellite image for more information. These milestones covered by Nimasa were revealed by the Director General of the agency, Mr. Ziakede Patrick Akpobolokemi, represented by the Executive Director, Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Agaba, at a World Press Conference held recently in Lagos to present his account of stewardship in the past year. Responding to questions from newsmen at the event, Captain Agaba shed light on some of the achievements of the agency as enumerated.
Nigeria is, our coast is about 850 kilometers long, and we have a lot of oil and gas operations. And this oil and gas, they use specialized vessels, PSVs, anchor handling, crew boats. So these are vessels specialized. Now, if the indigenous shippers don't have those type of boats, what are they going to do? So the issue is building the capacity, giving them the working environment so that they can go and acquire these vessels. And that's why the CVFF is important. And Nimasa has made a recommendation to have some of the companies get the money and go and buy those vessels so that they can take part.
The Director Shipping Development Nimasa, Captain Waridi Eniswo, also clarified questions on the effectiveness of the satellite surveillance system.
The incident will determine the type of response, and the response will determine what we are supposed to do. If it's an act of aggression, it's entirely a situation where you might have to employ arms. And as you well know, the international laws will not allow you to bear arms into somebody else's waters. It's going to be taken as an act of aggression. And that is where we have to negotiate. The only way we can assist those countries is the same way we protect ourselves with high-level intelligence. We can share that intelligence with them and say, look, this is about to happen in your waters. Please go deal with it.
The head of public relations, Nimasa, Mr. Esichei Osangbi, rounded off the day with a few remarks about the agency's performance so far.
In a nutshell, we are quite delighted to say that the Nigerian maritime industry is getting better. We are being more and more equipped with necessary materials to fight off piracy or ward off where necessary, and if at the same time be able to help grow adequate shipping activities.
If you can stop piracy and oil theft, these are two endemic problems we've had far before the coming of the present administration. And this is the first time in the history of this country the President and the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria has given marching order, is highly enthusiastic in stopping these two crimes.
Now, the need for the strict compliance of all safety rules within the marine environment has been stressed. In a chat with our correspondents in Lagos recently, experts from the Search and Rescue Division of Nimasa identified some unsafe practices mitigating against safe and secure shipping in our country. Rachel Ubani reports.
Achieving a safe, secure and sustainable shipping environment alongside developing human capacity for economic growth is the primary aim of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, the custodian of all IMO's convention. In a bid to realize this goal, Nimasa has put in place different structures geared towards training and certification of maritime operators and assistant ships in distress. On a visit to the Nigerian Maritime Resource Development Center, NMRDC, Kirikiri recently, the Deputy Director Seafarer Standards and Training, Captain Sunday Umore, shed light on the day-to-day workings of the agency in ensuring safety in the marine environment.
The examination, the certification of seafarers with the aim of ensuring that we have competent hands manning all the ships registered in Nigeria. So some of the mandatories, the certificates are issued by the colleges. We only oversee. Once in a while, we have an annual review program. That annually we go revet the schools to be sure that they are still working within the approved guidelines. So that's on that bit. The other proficiency, the competency bit, it's Nimasa that issues the certificate for those courses. The schools like the Maritime Academy of Nigeria, they will train the cadets. Once they meet the requirements, they will come to us for verification. We will look at all the documentations to ensure that all the requirements are met before we move them to the next level, which is presenting them for the certificate of competency examination that is being set by Nimasa.
The Assistant Director Radio Survey, Ubede Williams, adds that Nimasa has gone beyond the requirements of the IMO to provide safety and security for ships in distress.
My division has been given the responsibility of carrying out this responsibility of assisting vessels in distress. And we have a center here in Lagos which is called the Regional Maritime Rescue Coordination Center. This center was established in 2008 by IMO Secretary General. And we are given the responsibility. Nigeria has taken or has been designated to be the head of one of the regional coordinating centers in Africa. There are 5 centers in Africa. There's one in Liberia, in Kenya, South Africa, and Morocco. Because we are the head of the regional coordination center, we coordinate with all these other 8 countries in search and rescue operations.
The maritime experts, however, listed out some irregularities like forgery of certificates and disregard of safety rules, among others, that pose a challenge to ensuring safety.
I will re-emphasize on the forgery. The discharge book, which one of the mandatory documents you need before you progress on your seafaring career, is issued by Nimasa. We have the guidelines posted on our website. The advice to Nigerians is don't just pick up the discharge book. Ensure that you have Nimasa issued discharge books. Also, in employing foreigners, people with foreign licenses, you can also come to Nimasa to check, to confirm if first the country that issued the certificate is in the white list or the authenticity of the license too.
The boat operators and boat users to be able to carry out or before they join the vessel or those boats, practice what we have taught them. That they should be able to carry their life jacket. They should not enter the boat together with boats that are carrying cargoes. They should first of all secure their life before they embark on a voyage.
Shipping practitioners were advised to be collaborators in the safety process and practice all safety measures taught by the agency.
Usually, there's a tendency to be panicky when distress situations occur, but the system has been made so easy in which all you need to do is press a button and all other signals get to those that need to know what's going on with you, which is the RMRCC Lagos. So they should just not be panicky, go through the motions the way they've been taught, and we'll get to know what's going on.
The campaign is on. All the major indices mentioned above must be achieved if the goal of ensuring safety in our territorial waters is to be realized.
I want to say well done for that brilliant. It's the first time we ever had such a series. It's become a series now. We all look forward to it. We all run to get to our TVs, to tune on to channels, 7:30 on Thursday to listen to that brilliant slot. So you are creating awareness. You're getting us to know what is happening, what Nimasa is doing, and bringing us to add more, to put our voice to it, to criticize or to encourage, or to make an addition to what Nimasa is doing. More importantly, to commend them, because when you do applaud someone, you create room for an improvement.
Up next is a new segment of Nimasa This Week.
UN Security Council Committee imposed sanctions on ocean maritime management. The United Security Council Committee has imposed sanctions on ocean maritime management, operators of a North Korean ship, Chon Gang, seized near the Panama Canal for smuggling arms from Cuba. Under the sanctions issued by the UN Councils, the company is now subject to an international asset freeze and travel ban. Suez Canal widening to begin this week. The Egyptian Suez Canal, which allows ship transport between Europe and Eastern Asia without navigation around Africa, will undergo a major deepening project this week in order to improve wait times for vessels using the canal.
Once again, we went trawling through our email box to bring you answers to questions that we have determined to be some of the most frequently asked on our show. And this week, we begin like this.
Our frequently asked question for this week is, what are the flag duties of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa? The Executive Director, Maritime Safety and Shipping Development, Captain Ezekiel Bala Agaba, gives us the answer.
First of all, we need to understand what flagging is all about. The Nimasa is established under the Act to carry out flag duties. What it means is that all the vessels that are flagged under the Nigerian registry is the responsibility of Nimasa to track. And then flagging is like identity of a vessel. Then a vessel that carries the Nigerian flag is like part of the territory of the country. Anything that happens on board is attributed to the country. So we also need to put a system in place to make sure that all our flag vessels are tracked and things, regulations are properly followed.
And so we come to the very end of today's edition of our show. As always, we hope we kept you educated and informed. Now, please don't forget, Nimasa this week is interactive. We want to respond to your questions, your comments, and even your criticisms. All you need to do is to send an email to the address currently showing on your screen. Now, I'm going to be here, same time, same station next week. Until then, we're wishing you smooth sailing and bon voyage.